I think nearly everyone loves the idea of camping, but reality can be very different, especially if you're going to camp in a tent and the weather turns bad, you get rain, cold. Now, of course, you can get an RV or a camper, but those things cost a fortune, they're big, require a vehicle that can tow them, but they do give you a lot of comfort and security. But in this video, I'm going to show you an alternative that combines the best of both worlds. This is a micro camper from the company Hiker Trailer. They're made right here in Indiana. These things start at about $5,000. It's rugged, built like a tank, and it really is designed to bridge that gap, giving you a more secure way to camp. Each one of these can be custom designed around exactly what you want, but this company also has pre-configured models that they sell through dealers across the US. In full disclosure, I do not get to keep this camper, sadly, but I did get to use it in the late summer, along with the winter that we're currently going through now. There are lots of videos out there that allow you to build your own micro camper, but when you add up the cost of the trailer, all the things like windows, doors, and equipment, it costs a lot more than you would think because you're buying those products just one at a time. Now, that doesn't mean you can't customize it after the fact. I would definitely recommend doing that, but right from the factory, you can get this thing completely ready to go. Now, the model they sent me includes this 100-watt solar panel, which isn't going to win any awards, but I think for a vehicle this size, this 100-watt could work fine, and you certainly could add another one in the rear of this, or even externally. And many of you may say this thing is just too small, and I actually felt the same until you get inside. I think one of these would be ideal for weekend camping or quick getaways where you're going to have 2 to 4 people. Now, this model even has an external hot water heater, because one of the big complaints, of course, is how you're going to take a hot shower, but this one connects directly to the propane tank that's mounted on the side. It's got a 21-gallon fresh water tank that's mounted underneath the trailer, along with a 12-volt electric water pump, and it's got an external fill port. It is incredibly well built. I'm told these are sheets of marine plywood, and they've got a type of aluminum that's painted on the outside, and it is very well finished. And if you're somebody that's going to keep some gear inside, it's certainly going to be a lot more secure in a vehicle like this. The big benefit here is, of course, the smaller size, not just internally, but externally. That means you can drag this thing to spots that you couldn't normally get an RV into. That also means your ground is going to often be on level, so they've equipped this thing with 3 leveling jacks. Now, I'm told these are very popular with off-roaders. They've equipped this one with great rims, rugged tires, and you would have no problem trailering this in rough terrain or something off-road. Another super important feature on a smaller camper is that you've got to have ventilation. Now, this Max fan, if you're not familiar with it, is truly a miracle. This thing is shielded from rain, whether it's open or closed, and pop this thing open from inside the camper. But the secret of it is, once you turn the motor on, it's going to draw air into it, of course, like any other fan. But in a camper, the secret is you'll crack your windows open. Now all the air will come from outside and be circulated right out of the top of the camper. Even though it's heavy duty, it is still super lightweight. You should be able to tow this with any vehicle with a tow hitch. Here to illustrate that, I'm using my ATV. It's got full LED lights, safety chains, and this trailer even has electric brakes, so they haven't skimped on any of the good features that you really want if you're going to buy something and keep it for the long term. I also got to try out this cool feature during the fall. This is called the Peregrine 270-degree awning. They implemented it perfectly on this trailer. Everything folds up compact when it's done, but when it's open, it's got LED lights, and I think this is going to be a perfect camper for someone that really wants to enjoy the outdoors and not just be sitting inside on their phone all day, because now they can stay under the awning and stay dry without bothering to just be cooped up inside. In total, I slept in this thing for 4 nights, and it definitely was comfortable. If you're by yourself, there's no problem at all, and 2 adults would not be an issue whatsoever. This model also did not feature any type of a kitchen. Some people don't really want to cook with something like a stove. They don't want to deal with the cleanup. Others are going to use kind of like MREs and ready-to-eat stuff. They have versions that they can equip with a stove if you want that. You could even tie it into the propane on the side of the trailer. But for me, when I'm camping, I'm either going to bring food that's already ready to eat, or I'm going to grill something outside. This model also has this heavy-duty steel box. It's weatherproof, lockable, and it's even got this retractable drawer tray system, and they've equipped this one with a fridge. Now, you could certainly put gear in here, even things like weapons if you're a hunter, but this is going to give you dry storage for your food, or you could, of course, put other equipment in here as needed. It's also completely pre-wired. Right from the factory, this one has an external 120-volt port. In the back, this door doesn't take you into the trailer. It's actually a separate compartment. They've got 2 shelves, actually 3 technically if you include the bottom, that you can use for storage. But additionally, as you can see here, you can equip it with a power station. Once that's in place, You can use the solar charging, power everything inside the trailer, and just like most RVs, the lights and equipment inside run on DC, which allows you to have the AC inverter off, greatly extending your runtime. But if you want to use something like an AC electric heater, you can do that as well. Just simply use the AC outlets in your power station. Now, they've fortunately taken every inch of this thing and really used it to their advantage. They've got storage compartments, shelves, and even this thing that looks kind of like a foam brick is actually both a mattress, a sofa, and you can of course use it just as a simple chair. So even though the space inside is not big, you can comfortably seat between 2 and 4 people. The floor is heavy-duty vinyl. It's definitely going to hold up over time, though I would recommend putting some type of mat down if you're going to be coming in here with dirty feet. Now, this company has already sold thousands of these, so they've made mistakes and things that they wanted to improve, and as you can see, this interior design is surprisingly good. They've got privacy curtains, and having the doors and windows on both sides makes a huge difference. If you've never owned an RV or a camper before, you really have to understand it is a commitment. When you get home, there's all kinds of stuff you have to do just to maintain the thing. This micro camper eliminates a lot of that. It definitely makes life a bit easier. Now, of course, there is no bathroom inside this thing, but if you know anyone who owns an RV, a lot of folks don't even use their bathroom because they don't want to deal with the maintenance afterwards. So in this camper, that's not really an option. Most people use something like a porta potty that they can keep in the back, but many will just simply use outdoors, or they'll use facilities at a campground. And personally, my number one reason that I like this model is for the security. So if you currently own one, I'd love to get your feedback in the comments. And what do you think? Is this something you might consider? They've also got a pretty slick website. They call it an adventure hub, where you can go on and basically customize and build your entire trailer electronically right online, and they can give you a price on the spot, or they can send you a quote with more info. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the Silver Symbol channel if you're not already for more videos coming up.